Hey there guys, Kirk Forney checking in with a much overdue. What is going on with real estate prices in the West GTA and where are they going and who should even care about this? So straight to it, real estate prices in the West GTA are up a lot in fact. And I'm going to throw up a little graph here to show you. This is the HPI index out of the Oakville Real Estate Board, which is actually surprisingly representative of a lot of the West GTA areas and often a leading indicator of what happens in areas a little bit further west, like the Niagara, Waterloo, Wellington region. So you can see here that prices were at $1.2 million something and then went up to $1.3 million something, and you basically see $100,000 difference, so around 10%. And when I've been looking at different segments, I'm seeing around 10%. And this is a 10% increase from only a few months ago. As recently as July to now, October 15th, we're seeing a 10% increase. I cannot stress to you how enormous this increase is. And what I'll be getting to later is what are the expectations? Can this keep going? Now, first of all, when people talk to me about a market crash, fundamentally, a lot of economists like to use models like the 7-year cycle. And really what they're getting at is, has the market been on a very positive run for a very long time and hasn't been challenged recently and is getting to a point where they call irrational exuberance. And I think I'm going to throw this another HPI going back to, I think I have 2017 here, that is showing that it has been challenged recently. It hasn't been just a straight line up. It's been doing this, which when it's doing this, it shows that the market has been challenged. And so if it has been challenged and there have been pullbacks involved in these increases, what it makes me think is that there are not any big decreases to come in the future. In fact, I think it's very likely in the next 1, 2, 3 years, possibly the next decade, we're going to keep seeing increases as the supply problem isn't being addressed and the demand problem, the immigration, too much immigration, a lot of people's opinions, isn't being addressed either. Now, let's go ahead and look at what RE/MAX has to say with their report that came out a couple of days ago. And they're basically saying here that they think prices could go up as much as 5% before the end of the year is out. And it makes me kind of wonder here, are they including some of the recent increases, like that recent 10% bump? Most realtors don't really follow stats very closely. Most people in the industry don't really know prices have gone up 10% recently. It's just not really in a normal part of a realtor's domain to look at those things. Exceptions like me, who are kind of nerdy and love statistical analysis and are tracking prices on a bi-weekly basis, I noticed these increases, I think, probably a full quarter ahead of most of my peers. And that's why I'm happy to bring this to you guys, because when you know about price increases before everyone else, that's a huge opportunity. That's a huge opportunity to buy a property at a reasonable price where people around you are saying, oh, you overpaid, because they don't know the market's up. And then months later, they're paying 20, 30, 40, 50K on top of that. So that pretty much concludes my market update. As always, feel free to reach out to me. This really information does matter for everyone. The reason why this matters for everyone is because if you don't have a house, this is bad news. The good news is that if you get in, you're going to make money around the corner. But the bad news is that the opportunity cost of being outside of the market over the last year has probably been over $200,000. And for people who have housing, obviously you have more equity. For people who are not in a detached house, they're in a townhouse, an apartment, and one day they want to be in a detached house, not the greatest of news, because detached houses are appreciating at a faster rate than other real estate products. So time is ticking for you to get your stuff together and make that jump into a detached. Otherwise, there's a lot of people worrying about that jump may never be possible. Anyways, feel free to reach out with any questions. Talk to you soon.